Hello, folks. Here I am. Got my sweater on this morning because it's like that. It's getting to be that time of the year. Wednesday, September 27th, 2023. Cheers. Right away. Thank you for the continued orders. Thank you for wanting to own my music. This morning, someone also bought Life After X. And I tell you what, if you bought this, there's more on this. And I just had to update my site. I only have 6 of these left. So, my second movie soundtrack job that I've ever had. So, yeah, I just sold one. I checked to make sure that the number on the site was correctly reflecting what I have. It said I have 7 left, but I only have 6. So get it while you can, because when this is gone, it's gone. I'm also want to publicly thank Jack Cinnamon Porcello, who I've never met, but has a radio show on WAYO FM up in New York. So I got played on the radio last night. I appreciate that Jack played the track that Dave Newhouse recommends. Not the track that Dave plays on, but the track that James and Blake play on, called Matter Has. And as a matter of fact, that is one of my absolute favorites on the album. I've actually released it before on my album 2020, but this version has the horns and added guitar and piano, a piano solo by me that I had to plot it out. That's the advantage of using MIDI, is that I can compose and write and play things that I can't actually play in real time. You know, like the thing that Frank Zappa was able to do with the synclavier. It helped him. He was able to realize things that people that he couldn't play very well, or anyway. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, and keep it coming. Also, one more thing. I've reduced the price of the RAF album to $20, okay? And Bandcamp Friday is coming next Friday. Okay, so sometimes I'm just inundated with music, and I love it. So, Matt Parker, if you happen to see this, thank you for continuing to have me on your mailing list occasionally. I listen to most of the first track on here, Parallel, the Mike Osborne live at the 100 Club. Sure enough, this is vital stuff. Mike, just like you describe in here in the liner notes, there are moments where Mike Osborne just takes off on saxophone. He can really play, but he also has a voice, and he really expresses. The rhythm section on here on this first track is on fire. Louis Maholo on drums and Alan Skidmore on bass. Wow. Good job, Matt Parker. Bringing these recordings out and sharing them with the world. This is dynamite stuff. It's, for the longest time, there has been the overall impression that the best jazz comes from America. Leastways, I've encountered that over the years reading press, and I've read a lot, and it's just not true. America might be the birthplace of jazz, but this is a good example of where the British tradition, and even like I was listening to The Nucleus with Ian Carr the other day, bad mothers, bad mothers. Thank you for sharing that with me so that I can tell the world. I get very interesting and sometimes really funny comments from people. Someone asked, because of the Gypsy, showing Gypsy, does that mean that only people in the Midwest watch this? What? Perceptions, people's perceptions. We live in the mind. We do, some people don't understand when I say that, how true it is. There is no subjective reality. It's what we experience. We think everyone's seeing the same thing and feeling and thinking the same shit. We're not. It's all about our perception and what's coming in. So yesterday I received an update. I'll call them updates. I received a package from Discus Music. Well, to make sure I have all the CDs that they sent me. I think they sent me 3. And right away, I'm not sure now, 3 or 4. Because they get the one sheets. Okay, so it's, yeah. So one is, let me get going here, all right? I want to start by talking about the new Guy Siggers record by his band, the Eclectic Maybe Band. Here's the one sheets that record labels will put out. So I'm very happy to receive a copy of the new Eclectic Maybe Band album, Bars Without Measures. This is the band that is, and project that is led by monster bassist, and I mean that seriously, monster bass player Guy Siggers from Belgium, who I first learned about through him being in the bands Universe Zero and Present. Now, I've had him on my show twice now. We've talked. Really like this guy. A very interesting man. I didn't make the connection of the band's name until he told me that Eclectic Maybe Band is a play on Electric Ladyland. when he revealed that to me, I just cracked up. I said, I don't think I would ever got that, Guy. It looks like his name is Guy, but he says you pronounce it Guy. So the reference to Jimi Hendrix is appropriate. And I want to tell you, Guy, if you see this, because I think you will, right off the bat, this is happening. But I'll tell you what, the track track number two, Senseless Ostensibly, that kicks in, boom. It's like, okay, wow. This is some good new, it's progressive, it's jazzy, it's really potent. I can't say that I think it's the best Eclectic Maybe Band yet, because it just makes me realize I need to go back and listen again more deeply. Let me just share a little bit of the one sheet. Bars Without Measures continues the band's established tradition, which brings together detailed studio work with the creativity of real-time improvisation, using different groupings from within a large ensemble cast, and he's got some bad mothers on here, which includes many well-known names. Guy has created an album where tracks are drawn from live improvisation in the studio and where tracks are drawn from live improvisation in the studio are mixed with created from the they're created from the ground up. Okay, that's a bit of a misspell there. This is quite good, and I would list some of the players, but Well, I'll mention this woman, Cecilia Brochet. I'd gotten her. I filed it already. It's not sitting here. I filed it because it's like, oh, I really liked her new album. But he's got some top players on this, and I highly recommend this. Not just for progressive lovers, jazz lovers. I recommend this to all my listeners and watchers, viewers. Eclectic may be banned. Once again, Discus Music, which releases music only on CD, major label here, majorly important. They're putting out solid, fantastic music. I also love the packaging. The CDs all come in these plastic cases. It's a labor of love. Hats off to Martin Archer. If you see this, Martin, once again, Martin was kind enough to help me with the Muse. And again, I don't want to lean on him by asking the favor again, but he helped me to get this distributed over in Europe. But I understand that his label is primarily about his endeavors. So I don't feel like it's my place to ask him, hey, you want to do that again? He's got his own business. And his business is about good music. Okay, I have sampled all of these so I can give you my first impressions. If you, in general know what Discus is about, all of these releases are recommended. It's all more on the jazz, progressive side, not rock. So here comes this. I listened to some of this, but not much. But Siapiau is how you say it. Pronounced Siapiau, is Welsh for shapes, as the four members of the band create shapes in the air out of apparently nothing. The beauty of improvisation is that at its best, it creates something perfectly fitted to the moment it was created in. So this is a group with Maggie Nichols, who has been around for a long time. I showed you Centipede, Septober Energy, with John Marshall, Robert Wyatt, all those people. She's on there. She's got quite a pedigree. Richard Harrison on drums, who I also have his work in Stereolab. He's played with a bunch of people. And Phil Hargreaves, again, my first impression is strong. Martin Archer has a good bullshit detector, and he's putting out really good stuff. Okay, the next thing I listened to is this, the Charlotte Keefe Right Here, Right Now Quartet, alive in the studio. And as you see, with all three of these releases so far involved improvisation. For her second Discus release, Charlotte has convened her regular working quartet to explore open-ended versions of her compositions, which form the basis of their live set. She plays something called the sound brush, along with trumpet and flugelhorn, and there's double bass, drums, and guitar. Again, good initial impression of this. There's lots more. I mean, this is deep listening stuff for people of all ages. But I'm thinking about people, my age, around my age, where you're chilling. You're spending a fair amount of chilling, and rather than watching TV, this is the way to stimulate that brain. This music. So again, another winner. Now, of the stuff that he sent me, the one that is the most challenging listening-wise is this last one. I can tell it's quite a work. There's a darkness about it, though. And it's Murmurists. This is interesting. This is compared to a lot of what's on Discus music, this one stands out as kind of unusual. Much more dark than what his usual fare is. Murmurists, othyphall.brel.gory is not the same as you. Created and directed by a fellow named Anthony Donovan, who goes under the this type Murmurists. Okay, the graphics can give you the graphics are fitting in that there's something ominous. I haven't read the notes yet. Apparently, this is Ron Anderson. Hey, Ron, if you see this, is among many people is playing on this. I mean, Martin Archer obviously is on here. Murmurists is a group of artists which convenes periodically to perform large-scale multimedia events using text and graphic scores composed and directed by Anthony Donovan. This CD, recorded over a significant span of time, draws upon such live and studio performances, channeling these years of diverse activity into a brand new work. Call it music theater, sound design, documentary, as you will. So my first listen of this was, there's text, certain things stood out where it's like it's trying to grab your attention, but it seems like it's like sordid, or maybe reflecting the darkness of reality. I'm not sure, but my first impression is that this is oh geez, it almost had a point of reference. I can't think of his name, the name of the, but it's a big work, and it's one that I'll need to be in the mood, get myself ready for, to dive in, because I think it's designed on purpose to prick the senses. I'm not sure what it's about yet, but that's the main thing I want to share is the Discus Music update, and thank Discus Music so much for continuing to keep me on their mailing list. Thank you so very much. And you as well, Matt Parker with British Progressive Jazz. Thank you for doing it's a service. I know it's your business, but it's also a service. We really, the world doesn't need any more music. There's too much music, if you want to put it like that, to really be consumed by anyone. But that's not the point, is it? The point is that we're alive, and it's something that we do, and it's part of the beauty of life is being creative and expressing ourselves individually and collectively. It's the beauty of life. It's the best. So, folks, I hope you're doing well. I do enjoy reading comments. I appreciate that folks have gotten mostly people have gotten the message that it's important to be decent, kind, loving, and caring on this when you come over and visit me on my channel. Because when you come over here, you're basically spending time with me in my domain. And this is all about trying to get along and realizing how we're connected and part of one living organism, the universe or whatever. And we need to try to get along. All this madness going on in the world because of money and profit, and how because fossil fuel has a stranglehold on the dollars, we are not addressing the warming and the cataclysmic devastation that is happening now and will just increase as we continue to ignore the need to make changes in how we live on this planet. Folks are too busy making that dollar, making that money. They gotta have it, so we're just gonna suffer. I will end on a positive note, but I must say, and I'll say it publicly, that it I am heartbroken that my older brother is in a homeless shelter out in California. There's nothing I can do. It would break me to send him some money, and it would only be like barely a band-aid to get him from one point to the next to send him any money, because the cost of living, that would be two of us going down. I'm maintaining here, but he's been on my mind. I really do love all my family, and I've always loved my brother. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was ultimately going to happen years ago when he and his friends had this frenzied dream of, we're going to go and make it in California. I knew that even if they made it, ultimately they're going to end up at loose ends, because literally you go out there to make it big. Well, you have to stay big to keep living out there because it's so damn costly. I know y'all don't necessarily want to hear that, but this is what's on my mind. And if my brother James could make it back to Omaha, would I put him up in my house? Well, no, that's not the answer. This house is really set up for one person. And my brother James at 70 with his health needs, I would be taking care of him. That's not what I want. I'm sorry that he's fucking homeless. Goddamn, that bothers me. So I'm just saying it out loud. Hope things work out. I hope the system, I worked in the system. I know the system, the social system, the mental health system, public health. I know it. So, anyway, as they say in Japan, gambate. Did I say it right? Do your best. Everyone, let's just do our best. Let's just do our best, okay? Stay in touch.